Hi everyone, welcome to the Upper Geyser Basin for another one of our virtual Yellowstone tours. That's Old Faithful, there's Old Faithful Inn, that's the visitor center, here's Old Faithful Lodge, and along this trail is a way to a rather unusual and less known view of Old Faithful, where you can actually see the geyser erupt from on top of what's known as Geyser Hill. If you look at a map of this area, and I'll drop one in here, you can see that if you look at the southeast part of that area, you'll notice where Old Faithful Lodge is. And then there's a trail, which we'll see coming up shortly, which is going to take us up to the overlook of Old Faithful. And we can continue on that trail. And there's two loops that you can take to see various of the other geysers as well. This area here, the Upper Geyser Basin, is home to so many geysers. Yellowstone, as you may know by now, is where almost half of the world's geysers are to be found. And the Upper Geyser Basin over here is where 150 approximately of the geysers can be seen. This is where they are located. There's the Firehole River. We're catching our first glimpse of it up here. As you probably know by now, those of you who've watched quite a few of our virtual Yellowstone tours, the Firehole River is a thermal river, which means that a lot of the water in it is coming from the various thermal features, the geysers and the hot springs primarily. And you'll find at the Upper Geyser Basin there's several bridges which cross the firehole. You see that white area at the back there, and you'll notice the orange. White is what we find from all the sinter, S-I-N-T-E-R, that the thermal features bring up from underground when the water comes up. So when you see the white area, where you see the sinter, you know that you're in an area where there's either currently a thermal area or there used to be one. And here, of course, there very, very definitely is a thermal area. And this is the trail to which I was referring. It's a bit of a climb up to the top, but nowhere near as bad as the Monument Geyser Basin trail. Just taking my mask off. You should take a look at the Monument Geyser Basin video on our channel. In fact, if you go to virtualyellowstonetours.com, you can see all the videos in our YouTube channel. Just click on them and they'll take you back to YouTube. The advantage, though, of taking a look at them at virtualyellowstonetours.com is that we've got them categorized. You can, for example, take a look at all the videos of geysers erupting, or all the grizzly bear videos, or the elk videos. So it's quite a useful resource. And I was mentioning the Monument Geyser Basin Trail. That is really something. We've got two videos of that. One is the full-length one, and the other is just the highlights. But it's a really, really, really significant climb up to the top. But it's, in my opinion anyway, the most unique geyser basin here at Yellowstone. Take a look at it. I'm sure you realize by now that the eruption times of geysers can be predicted. So if you do come up here, you want to try and time it so you get up to the top just before the start of the window before Old Faithful is due to erupt. The Park Service predicts Old Faithful to 10 minutes on either side, but I've noticed that one of the sites that I use, called geysertimes.org, and we can see Old Faithful over there and the gas station and the convenience store. One of the sites that I use, which I mentioned before, geysertimes.org, a few months ago I think it was, they started predicting Old Faithful to 13 minutes either side. And it's a shame to say that Old Faithful is perhaps not as faithful as it once was. In the early days, in fact, it was called Eternity's Timepiece because they thought it was so reliable. But that's been my experience as well. Old Faithful generally erupts in the very last portion of the National Park Service's 10-minute window, sometimes even after it. The only time that it erupts, from my experience, in the first portion is when you're in a hurry to get there. And you're really hoping that it doesn't erupt early and that it does erupt late as usual, but of course, because you're running late, it tends to erupt early. Remember to bring your bear spray with you as well. As you can see, even though this is the end of August and a reasonably busy time, we haven't exactly come across a lot of people on the trail. Over here we could turn left and take the loop to some of the other geysers, particularly Solitary, which, as the name suggests, is standing there all on its own. Quite why those people were walking down when Old Faithful is about to erupt shortly, I don't know, but to each their own. There's Old Faithful Lodge. Old Faithful Inn on the right. Starting to get a great view of the area, aren't we? And now choose your vantage point.